time. How can we achieve to be more conscious and more awake in our day-to-day interactions with people? Because many of us awakening people are falling back into the trap of coming into the ego, into the ID, into being right, into being justified in what we think, we feel, how we should be treated, and so on. And so it's not easy to stay in the state of awareness, of higher awareness and higher consciousness. And we fall back and forth, and that is normal, right? Because we are developing, and development doesn't just happen within a split second. But how can we practically remind ourselves to be more conscious and to act from a space within us that is more superior than the ID, personality space, ego space, which oftentimes is very ego driven, as in small me driven, me, and I want to be right, and I want to be seen, and I want to be this, that, and the other. And I came across two separate inputs. They came to me, and I want to share them because I think they help a little bit with the answer. And this is in relation to viewing other people, especially people who annoy us or who anger us or get on our nerves, and we feel like an internal reaction, a negative internal reaction or response to their presence, to what they say, to how they treat us, to their point of view, to their opinion. And that is, if we look at number one, and you might have heard this before, it is always, always, always much more superior and sovereign and supreme to come and react and respond from a place of kindness rather than a place of being right and righteous. So this whole kindness thing, and maybe you've heard or listened to this a lot as well, be kind, be kind. But I want to tell you now why being kind could be the road to your holiness, to your sanctity, to your sanctity? Yeah, to your expanded consciousness, to your essence, to your internal real true self. Because being kind and patient and understanding shows something. It shows how you're willing to view the other person. And I'm going to give you a help now in how to view the other person so that it evokes in you a sense of kindness rather than I need to be right, I need to be seen, I have a right to be treated that way, and so on. And this is number one. We should remember, and I read that somewhere, we should remember that everybody is fighting an internal fight right now. Everyone who's alive on this planet has a battle going on because life here is tough. There are easy times and there are not so easy times, and there are really, really tough times. And for many, many people, it is very tough most of their lives. And we forget that it's not just us who struggle. It's not just us who have problems, who are in pain, who are being hurt, who are being mistreated. It is the same for everybody in one way or the other throughout the course of life, because that's how life is here. And so if we can remember when we interact with whoever, it can be a stranger, it can be our closest friend, they all are battling right now. They're all struggling with this thing called life. And they're all trying to get it done as best as possible, to do life the best way possible, which they know how to do in that specific moment. And yes, it could mean that they recreate suffering all the time, but that's where they are at. So if we remember when we interact with somebody, especially if we think they're in the wrong and we're in the right, choose kindness over being right and acknowledge they're battling. They're trying to do life the best way they can right now. And not just that, that is one helpful tool. The second one is remember that everybody is on a healing journey here. Everyone has wounds. So whoever you meet, especially in their adult life, everyone is in the middle of trying to heal from their past. In some way, shape or form. Or at least, maybe not everybody, but most people are trying to heal somehow from something that happened to them, from some wound, some pain, some hurt, some injury. Let's remember that when we interact with each other. No matter how arrogant they seem and no matter how awful they are, internally, they're just as human as we are. And they're having the same struggles because they live in the same duality, right? Depending on the consciousness, they might have it easy or not so easy. But yet they're still living in duality. And they're still carrying things that they need to heal from. And I find this so helpful because it takes the focus of me being right in an interaction to, okay, this person has their own issues. And you can even say they have issues, right? And some people really have issues. But you're not going to sort that by putting them down, by proving how right you are and how great you are and how smart you are and how wrong they are. Because if you put them in the wrong to make yourself feel good and to prove a point that, hey, I'm in the right here, what you're doing is you're adding just another little scoop of pain. There you go, you're wrong again. You're wrong again here. Me, a stranger, has to tell you that you're wrong again. So you walk home now with that feeling of being wrong because I told you so, and I told your manager to give you a good talk because you did not give me the service that I wanted or that I deserve, and so on. So in effect, we're adding to the pain instead of relieving it. And if we manage to take the reins of our ego and move our ego out of the way in interactions, especially with difficult people, and acknowledge their pain and acknowledge their struggle and their battle, right? Because nearly everybody, there are a few maybe exceptions, but nearly everybody has that. It's part of life. And if we acknowledge that, then we change, because then we act from our essence, from a different perspective than the ego perspective, from a different awareness, a different point of consciousness. And that's what we all want if we're interested in developing at all. Personal development or spiritual development, of getting to know ourselves, of getting a handle on ourselves, and not being the subject of our programs and the control of our patterns and habits and everything we've been trained to believe and to do and to think. And then we become free, because we also become free of that type of interaction. And what happens then? What happens next is that this positive treatment of others, I mean, everything creates consequences. So you're creating energetic consequences. When you want to be right and put the other person down, and you walk out and you feel great because you showed them. But also when you forget that whoever is right is right. But I allow kindness to be there first. And then you walk away. And what you leave with that person is kindness. So now you're creating a trail of energy that consists of kindness. and gentleness and understanding and patience. And wherever you go, here and there, you put a little scoop of patience and kindness and friendliness and smile and joy here and there. That's your trail. So by following that energy, somebody can see where you have been all day long, every day. And what they'll find is, wow, this person was treated nicely. That person went home feeling better, even though they really messed up in their job. That person, you understand? That's also karma. That's also energy. So that way we can build up our energetic field and our energetic trail. And I like that image. Now that's from me. That came from me. That wherever you were throughout the day can be discovered by the energetic, positive imprint of your kindness. And when you lie in your bed at night, all of this, and I see this as a light trail, goes throughout the day till the morning, and that's yours. You created that. So it makes you more bright. And we create an energetic field then, which consists of more kindness, which consists of more of our essence, unconditional love, basically. And that's really what many of us are looking for, this essence of ourselves. This, we label it as unconditional love, or our awake consciousness, true self, real self, higher self, source energy, source consciousness. That's what we're looking for. That's what we are wanting to approach or experience more and more each day. And these are little tools of how to do it practically each day. I hope that this is helpful to you. It was helpful to me to hear those sentences, and also then to, just as I did now, to see that we leave energetic trails everywhere. And what do I want them to be? Because one day we're gone. We're all gone one day. This is not our home. We're not going to stay here. It's so short. What do you want the energetic imprint to be? And this is what we need to prove every single second here. What is the energetic imprint I want to leave behind? And that's your responsibility, no one else's. I'm going to love you and leave you with this for today, and we'll talk again next time.